Hello, this is Jasper Monclair, and this is my leadership interview presentation. So, who I interviewed Daniel Basisti. He was a UW graduate from Seattle, winter 2024. He works full-time at Geico Insurance. His role at Geico Insurance is TDP1, Technology Development Programming. And the one is because, entry-level position. Yeah. So why I interviewed Daniel Basisti specifically? The convenience factor. I reached out to a lot of professors over here at UWT, but they were not available because it was during the midterm. And also, the convenience wise is that my friend works over at Geico Insurance. So I asked him if he could put in the word to like the group chat. And then eventually he did get a reply from Daniel. He started at the company in January. So age wise, that's where I was going. He is 21 years of age, so he's relatively young, about this, it's pretty much the same age as me. So the reason why I found that very helpful is because everyone else who you may try in the CS field, they've been there for like over 10 years. But having someone this young who's close to my age puts into perspective how I can reach there with my journey. And then the first question I asked was regarding the roadblocks, so basically the challenges.
Speaking of road, was there any roadblocks going into your degree? Into my degree, well, for one, the admission process is very rough at University of Washington, Seattle. So not many people accept it. So that was somewhat of a roadblock, as I had to ensure that everything I submitted was top quality, top notch, to increase my chances of getting in. And then not only that, but another roadblock was that University of Washington, Seattle is pretty far from where I live. I'm in Auburn, Washington, so it's about an hour and a half commute. So naturally, I'm losing a ton of time every day just to commute over there. So that was a very hard process to get adjusted to.
So yeah, that was my leader's answer. Basically, lives far away, so he has less time to get home and to do his homework. Very challenging for him. And then for my second question, will AI have a huge influence on the workforce, especially in CS, where you can use AI to pretty much create projects from your own? So I was interested to see how he would answer that.
Force for CS. I think it already did, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if everything I've heard was true, but from what I've seen, a lot of jobs have already been replaced by AI, which is, somewhat scary in my position because, I imagine as AI advances, it could eventually replace my job, which would not be ideal for me. So, yeah, I imagine in the future there will be fewer and fewer jobs, but hopefully there will still be some, opportunities available.
And then for my third question, what traits should someone have in your major, CS, to be successful? The reason why I asked this question specifically was because it was in our course. What traits, like when we took the survey, the question, and then it gave us the five traits that we needed. So I was wondering if any of my five traits would show up in his answer.
What traits do you think one trait is determination and willingness to learn? So first of all, determination. The reason you would need determination is because there's a lot of times when I guess you're coding and things the code ain't working. The code ain't gonna be working. So through determination, you're gonna be able to keep working, maybe debug, see what's going on with the code, and you'll be able to eventually figure it out, right? And also willingness to learn, I think, is also very important because if you don't understand something, which is pretty common in computer science, you got to be willing to go out, maybe go to office hours, ask a teacher, ask on the discussion board or something about any questions you might have regarding the topic. Because if you don't have a solid understanding of something, it's pretty hard to work with it.
And then my final question for this video, do you have any tips on managing your time with schoolwork and personal life? Well, me personally, right now, I'm in college, UWT, part-time, well, full-time, and then I have a job part-time. So I was interested to see how he would answer that since he works there full-time.
For me, the biggest thing I could say is just look at a day at a time. Don't look too far ahead because if you look far ahead, you could be overwhelmed by just what you have to do. But if you just stick to a day by day basis, I think it makes things a lot more digestible and easier to look at.
So essentially, day by day, not looking too far into the future where you're concerned about, everything. Just take it slow. I agree with it. And then the key takeaways, a solid resume is important. So having an internship or community service, volunteering, having previous jobs, workload in CS can be stressful. He noted in the interview that, he was about to be on call soon. So basically they could call him at any time and he would have to, reply and get to work. So it shows that the workload can be tough. And then perseverance is an important trait. As you mentioned, you have to put in the determination in order to get the goals achieved. Office hours helps a lot. Asking your professors for help or willingness. So far, I haven't done this, but during the fall quarter, I'll attempt to do it. And then, yeah, thank you for watching.